This is the NBA. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. First for Minnesota, Rubio and Martin manning the backcourt. And at the pivot, a bruising and physical 6'11", 290-pound center. A battering ram in Pekovic. Then there's Buddington. And it's Love in at the four. And for Philadelphia, Carter Williams and Jay Rich in the backcourt. And standing 6'11" out of Kentucky, the explosive shot blocker, Nerlens Noel. Walking down the middle. A big game for this young man, making his NBA debut. Then it's Evan Turner, and it's Young in at the four spot.
Well, you know, when you play against the teams in the West, you need to have a solid front court or you're going to struggle. And last year, the Sixers thought they had the answer with Andrew Bynum, but he never played a game for them, so they really struggled against the West.
Now here's Carter Williams. D right on him. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, it's tipped. Outside, Martin. The Timberwolves working the ball around them. And stolen by Noel. Turner passes to Richardson. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Outside, Martin. And that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
I was able to catch up with the head coach of the 76ers. We talked about the challenges posed by a player like Ricky Rubio, such a tremendous passer and floor general. Coach said, we know he can make plays, but making shots is where he's been less effective. We need to focus on staying home and forcing him to beat us with his scoring. Guys, we'll see if they can limit his highlight reel dimes. Back to you.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Carter Williams can't get it to go. And trouble it was for the 76ers against the West, Clark, as you were talking about. They would end up with just a 12-18 record against the conference. And many wondering, Steve, what could have been.
Well, and 12-18 isn't actually that bad considering, you know, the state of the roster with the injuries and the new players. So I thought all in all, the 76ers fought hard most of the year, but they just didn't have enough in the tank.
He kicks it to Turner. Dishes it to Carter Williams. .133 left in the first quarter. And so it looks like the 76ers will retain possession here. The 76ers have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game.
Guys, we know it was a struggle last season for the Timberwolves, but against the Eastern Conference, they were pretty competitive. Nearly had a 500 record against teams from the East.
Here's Buttinger, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
You know, for a player with his explosiveness, that was ATM time. Cash money, the easy way.
Yeah, that kind of defense is not going to cut it against him.
Cash money. I like that, Clark.
And that'll be Philadelphia as it goes out of bounds. 76ers retain possession. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Turioff comes in for Nikola Pekovic. And Barea subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Well, back to the Timberwolves, that's a marked improvement over how they've done, Steve, over the past few seasons.
Yeah, the last few years, that's easily the best winning percentage the Wolves have had against the Eastern Conference. Yeah, they won't want to take much from last season to this one, but maybe that's something at least they can carry over and try to build on.
You know, when you're a small guy like J.J. Barea, most of the time the role you have on the team is to be a distributor and move the ball around, but Barea is different in that he's in complete attack mode as soon as he steps on the floor. I like that about him. He's looking to score.
Derek Williams checked in for Minnesota. Brewer comes in for Chase Buddington, and it's Turner off the drive. Here's Moultrie, and he banks in the layup.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
The Timberwolves have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. And it's Brewer finishing it off.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
Well, he should stay with those basics in a tight ball game because we've got one here tonight.
Turioff misses. 76ers have gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
It's a great formula, and it's really a sign that the offense is clicking.
The 76ers shooting their first free throw of the night here.
Now, the numbers last year for them at the line, not great. Just 73% free throw shooting as a team.
And I know the free throw shooting is an area they focused on improving coming into this season.
Good on the second free throw. The 76ers have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them. Knocked away and stolen by Williams. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys. So that's a free basket right there.
And once he took off, it looked like the defense just had no interest in getting in his way.
That's one where you just give up the 2 points and move on.
Outside Turner. He got it up. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a... Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Timberwolves.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And they're also showing some muscle here in the first half, finding a lot of points in the paint area.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kevin, there's no doubt Nerlens Noel has faced his share of adversity over the last year. An ACL tear in his left knee cost him the end of his college season at Kentucky. That was followed by the long, grueling rehab process. And, of course, his surprise slide on draft night. But Noel says he takes the strength to carry on and overcome those challenges from his mother. He said, quote, "Coming to America from Haiti, working 2 jobs, she never quit, so I could be where I'm at today." Guys, plenty of motivation and a great example for this talented young man.
Great story. Thank you, Doris.
You know, last year nobody was quite sure the role Evan Turner would have, but as the season went on, he played his way into the rotation by earning the trust of his coach. I thought he made some good strides in his game.
And Turner, the number 2 overall pick back in 2010. Clark, it seemed NBA stardom awaited, but so far, it just hasn't worked that way.
It's still on the horizon for him. You got to remember now, he's only in his 4th year. He's a terrific ball handler, rebounder, 6'7", can play the point forward position for you. The Sixers traded away Iguodala and handed him the reins, and I think sometimes you can do that prematurely. And it'll be interesting to see how Evan steps into that higher expectation role now.
Carter Williams, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Here is Love. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Good.
Well, their plan of attack has been pretty clear to see. Get the ball inside and just take it strong to the hoop. Be dominant in the lane.
Well, the defense has been very slow to adjust. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside. Well, for the 76ers last season, that's really tough offensively. Tied for last in the league in points per game, bottom 5 in efficiency. He had a really good job of taking care of the ball, second lowest in turnovers, but I think they may have been a little overcautious to get those turnover numbers where they were.
Well, we're going to see one of the experts in the league at making the long outlet pass to get the fast break going. Always with his head up, immediately looking down the floor when he gets the ball.
And you know what? He is also relentless on the boards. He works as hard on his rebounding as anybody you're going to see.
And guys, the Sixers style over the last couple of seasons has been a little inconsistent, I guess you could say. Defensively, their philosophy very clearly was, Steve, to force teams to shoot long 2s. But offensively, those were the shots they so often took.
Well, remember, they were pretty good a couple years ago with Iguodala because they were a fast team that could create some offense in transition. But once they got by him and he was injured, it really took away their effectiveness offensively.
Carter Williams with the bucket.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
Already he's looking at his 3rd foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the 3rd quarter. Well, Minnesota won 31 games last season, but only 11 of those came on the road. For a team that was battered and bruised heading out on a lengthy road trip is often a recipe for a losing streak, and that was the case for them last year. The injuries just really bogged them down.
Nikola Begovic is checked in for Ronny Turiaf. Kevin Martin is checked in for J.J. Barea. 58 seconds left now here in the second. And Noel with the basket on the assist from Thaddeus Young. Timberwolves leading by 3. Well, picking up again on the Timberwolves. Road travel can be especially tough on just given the geography where their home city is in relation, Steve, to the rest of the NBA.
Well, particularly in relation to the rest of the West, because, you know, there the Timberwolves are up north and kind of in the middle of the country. So they have a lot of long trips. But, look, there are no excuses in the NBA. I mean, everybody's got their own adversity they've got to deal with.
Chase Budinger is checked in for Minnesota. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Thaddeus Young on the wing. Down low.
And a 2-for-1 opportunity.
Yeah, they've got to hurry. Step on the gas here.
Mark, good. And the nice assist for Williams. Martin's got his first points of the game.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
That's a mammoth dunk for someone who's far from the biggest guy out there on the floor.
Yeah, perhaps that'll give them the boost they're looking for to get out of the hole here.
Yeah, it should. I mean, if that doesn't fire them up, I don't know what will.
Feeds it to Anderson. Stolen by Mark. 2 on the clock. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And stolen by Richardson. The shot is off. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. The fun is the Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The second half just about to get going here.
Boy, 76ers had a season they'd like to soon forget. But the one thing they were able to do last year was win at home. Good thing, too, given how unforgiving Philadelphia fans can be. No tougher sports fans in all of sports than Philadelphia.
Now, here is Young. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Tries to keep it alive. Now the 76ers on the break. Richardson's running. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Richardson's got the first bucket of the third here for the 76ers. Timberwolves leading by 7. And back to the 76ers at home. Never a good idea to be under 500 at home in a city that has booed Santa Claus before. Steve, luckily they were able to avoid that, going 23-18 here last season.
Well, maybe Santa Claus had a bad year that year, Kevin. I don't know. But look, I mean, if you're stinking it up in front of Philly fans, they're going to let you know. I mean, they're going to boo you. They're brutally honest. On the flip side, though, when you play well, I mean, they're going to back you.
Here's Noel. Makes it off the glass. Noel's got his second basket of the night.
Now they'll take as many of those high percentage shots as they can get, guys.
So the Timberwolves call their first timeout. Some changes for Minnesota. Derek Williams checked in for Nikola Pekovic. And Corey Brewers subbed in for Chase Budinger.
Nerlens Noel, 6'11", out of Kentucky. Big wingspan, about 7'4". So he's a player who has a chance to be an incredible shot blocker. They're following in the footsteps of Anthony Davis at Kentucky.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Well, gentlemen, a bold draft day trade for the Philadelphia 76ers, trading away their all-star point guard Drew Holiday for the rights to 6th pick overall Nerlens Noel and a first-round pick in the loaded class of 2014. And for the new front office in Philly, it's a clear direction. Go young and build from the ground up. The Sixers' record will likely take a step back this season, but the experts all love the initiative with this move. Not content to be an average team, guys. They're looking to shake things up.
Doris, a lot of promise on this team. We'll see how they develop. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Minnesota. The 76ers trail by 7. And back to Noel, still very slender. The question for him has been, does he have the strength to play?
Not right now. He's got to get stronger. He's first got to recover from that ACL tear that he suffered. But if, in fact, he can get stronger, I love his motor, and I like his potential to become better as an offensive player.
There's a lot to withstand inside in the NBA.
No question about it.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. That's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically laid.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
The 76ers have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. The kick out to Young. Second shot opportunity. And Derek Williams is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Tough break for the defense. He took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep, but when you get there late, that's what happens.
He feeds it to Turner. Sinks the triple. Turner's got 5 points so far.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Hit his foot. And the official saying it was kicked. There's 38 seconds left to play in the third. And it's Rubio penetrating. There's the bucket. Good. 10 points for him.
Well, I tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Carter Williams kicks to Young. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. And there's the feed to Noel. This is his first free throw of the game. No good on the free throw. And he's good on the second. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Outside, Martin. Back to Rubio. He passes to Pekovic. Pekovic off a pick from Martin. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession. 15 seconds left in the third. And Turner kicks to Carter Williams. Back to Turner. Young outside. And Pekovic gets the whistle that time. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. The 76ers shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. And so Young nails them both. Now Rubio. Here's Martin. And he trains the 3, but let's see. They may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. Well, we thought the third quarter was over, but it turns out the officials are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
That shot absolutely had to be reviewed. It's going to have a major impact on this game. To the naked eye, that was a very tough decision.
Man, you'd love for the replay to be definitive, but wow, even in slow motion, it's hard to tell if that one should count.
And we've watched. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Timberwolves.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all games.
And they're also really getting out in transition and scoring some hoops in the fast break tonight.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Carter Williams has checked in. A free run to the hoop and some thunder on the finish.
Not exactly the way the D would have drawn that one up.
And when you got the space, hey, you might as well throw it down. That's what I always used to do.
Back to Richardson. And it's Kevin Love with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. The 76ers making a switch here. Turner's checked in. And here's Young from the arc. And the 76ers get it back. Pause, no luck. Timberwolves leading by 8. The try by Rubio. The dish to Buttinger. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
The 76ers shooting it really well. 54% from the floor. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Minnesota with the ball. And Michael Carter-Williams gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Jason Richardson is checked in for James Anderson. And Rubio kicks to Buttinger. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got 5 assists tonight.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
And the Timberwolves call time. They're up by 9. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter. Minnesota making a switch. Shved's checked in. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Yes, Kevin. Well, Rick Adelman had some advice for his team over that last break. He laid one thing out there for them, saying, now is the time to eliminate any chance of a mistake. We've got a good lead. Don't take any unnecessary risks or commit a silly foul. Smart basketball from here on out.
And he ends up making the second, and that will push the lead to double digits.
They didn't shoot it well from the line in the first half, but they've turned it around here, and it's helped them secure the lead. I mean, free throw shooting is important when you're trying to pad a lead.
Little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with the finger roll.
That's tipped, and that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. Doubled by Richardson. Shved dishes to Martin. Outside Williams. Outside for Martin. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. That's off as well, so he misses both. The 76ers trail by 8. It's Anderson with the drive, and the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down. The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
Here's Love. Soft touch off the glass. And the Timberwolves lead by 7.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
And Young, here we go. And he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion. So he'll head to the free throw line. Good on the first, and that trims the lead to 6.
I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second half, despite trailing in this game.
Well, you know, that's when you need to be most aggressive when you're down. Another good job of drawing contact and getting to the line.
I'm sure he'd like that miss back. Hard to chip away at a lead when you're leaving points at the line.
Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Philadelphia.
Their defense has been outstanding, Kevin. Closing out on shots, blocking a lot of them as well.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Here's Brewer. That's good. There's 48 seconds left to play here in the fourth.
Time is definitely not on their side at this point.
Yeah, they need a quick bucket.
Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession. Absolutely critical chance right here.
Yeah, they need this one to go their way, Kevin.
Young passes to Anderson. Lets it go with the 3. Nails it. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. Huge shot there, and the crowd, Clark, knows it.
Complete euphoria there, Kevin. They're going crazy.
Talk about some happy people, man. These fans are fired up. A crucial basket.
They needed it, and he gave it to them.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
Smart foul there. You got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
Second one is good. Being both at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Absolutely massive free throw. That'll force them into a 3-point attempt.
Timeout called the 76ers. They're losing by 3. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, down 3, you don't necessarily have to go for the 3. You could go for the quick bucket and then the foul.
I'm not sure. I mean, in this situation, I think they should look for the 3, Steve. I mean, try to tie this thing up. You've got 3-point shooters. Let it fly.
Carter Williams buries it. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within one.
Boy, that was impressive, Clark. He did not hesitate to take the ball right up against the bigger defender.
Boy, I like that aggressive mindset there, Steve.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2. He's off on the free throw and able to get that second one to drop in. And stolen by Pekovic. Sinks it.
An example right there, guys, of how even as their lead grew into a big one, they never started coasting.
That's the truth. I mean, they've been in charge of this game all the way through.
And stolen by Love. And there's the whistle, called a clear path foul there. Yep. And he'll shoot 2 at the line. Gets the first, and that puts them up by 5. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. And so they choose to intentionally foul. He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. Here's Anderson. And so the Timberwolves take the win. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation.